Welcome back to Hippie Bliss Travel. Today, we're heading down to Florence, Oregon for a weekend getaway. We've been to Florence a couple of times, but we've only been kind of passing through for a night here, night there. And we always said we always want to come back and hike the sand dunes and do some stuff along the coast. So we made a weekend out of it. Turns out this will be our last weekend getaway till the end of the year. Our daughter is heading off to an internship and we're going to be home with the grandkitty, and we told her at least one of us will be there, every day for the cat. A couple of weeks ago, I went and saw my mom, or my husband was here, and my other daughter and my husband got away for a couple days, and I was here. But until the middle of December, till she graduates, we'll be hanging out and doing a lot of day trips. Our first stop is going to be in Corvallis, Oregon, home of Oregon State University and the Beavers. And every time we pass through Corvallis, we always seem to stop at this one place for lunch. And the story behind it is a couple years ago, we were coming back from a weekend on the coast. And my husband was like, well, let's stop in Corvallis for lunch. So Google somewhere. So I Googled this place. It looked really good, had fantastic reviews. It was on a Sunday we were coming home. And we drove by the place, and there was probably 20 people outside waiting. And we're like, well, we're not going to make it there. So we picked this other spot called Sky High Brewing. Just by chance, we loved it. And every time we pass through Corvallis, we try to make a stop for lunch or dinner. There are several stories to Sky High Brewing. They do. Most everybody takes the stairs, but they do have a glass elevator if you need the elevator. The first floor is the brewery part. The next floor does have a restaurant bar and some seating area. And we've sat at the bar the first time we went. We've sat at the tables another time. But this time we headed up to the rooftop. And once you get up to the rooftop, yeah, there's the kitchen and this is the main dining area, the main bar area on the middle floors. But here we are up at the rooftop. You seat yourself. You go up. They have a limited a menu to choose from there. They have more options, I think, if you're seating. But you order, you can get they have a bar, you can get drinks up there. And they give you one of those little square round things that buzz when your food is ready. And they bring it up from the kitchen downstairs and they buzz, and then you go over to the staging area and you grab your food. The food is fantastic. And here is a view from the rooftop, and they've got cornhole, and I mean, it's a college town, so it's kind of set up for college college stuff and games and partying. And here's that elevator if you need it. And then we're heading out of Corvallis, heading to Florence. As we're driving down to Florence from where we live up in the Portland metro area, it's about a 3.5 hour drive from our place to Florence. That's why a stop in Corvallis is, kind of a good spot to stop for lunch. And if you look along the ridge, that single layer of trees, that's why I filmed that section. I thought it was pretty cool looking. And here we have some peekaboo views of the Siuslaw River. Probably, the last 10 miles before we hit Florence. And Florence is pretty much where the Siuslaw River and Pacific Ocean meet. And they have a beautiful bridge that goes over that connection. Here we are heading south on the 101. We're in Florence. When you come in from Corvallis and actually Eugene from that direction, you come in more in the southern part of Florence. Basically, Florence is an hour west of Eugene, and Corvallis is a little west of Eugene. But yeah, here we are covering bridge here, and I looked it up. The bridge here, this opened in 1936. And what is Wikipedia is where I'm looking here. It is a double-tied arch with central bascule drawspan. So basically, it's a drawbridge. And at first, I thought we were going slow because it recently had a drawbridge, but no, the gentleman on the bicycle, when they cross bridges, they're so thin that the bikes are or have to ride in the car lane, and we treat them just as another car. But here we are, we're getting ready to turn into the hotel here. And we've stayed at this hotel before when we've passed through Florence. We like it. It's got a really good view of the bridge, especially at night. It's got free breakfast, free parking, and you're pretty much close to everything, you know. And I think this is the second time we've stayed at this hotel. When you find a hotel you like, you tend to use it time and time again. And that's the lobby. And then it doesn't have elevators, so you let them know if you need like wheelchairs or you can't walk upstairs. They'll give you the ground
The
level.
room? Haha. Let's see, we got a fridge, drawers, microwave. Closet. Safe. The bathroom. And a king size bed.
And this is the bridge that we just crossed from our balcony. Breakfast area. They actually have a little omelet bar. You fill out a slip. You got like half dozen choices: ham, cheese, mushrooms. Actually, a really good size omelet. They call you when it's done. And then after we got settled, we went downtown Florence and just walked around Old Town. They have a marina, multiple restaurants, and some really cool art. And almost every coastal town in Oregon, you find your tsunami evacuation maps, and they'll have them marked on the road with, and signs to if you need to
Florence
evacuate.
Marina. There's our
It's not
hotel
something we really
across
worry
the
about,
river.
but it's something you always, oh, okay, take a quick glance just in case. And here we are. Yeah, this would be up the river, the Siuslaw River a little bit. I like that it's closed but still awesome. And the old town we walked to, we kind of walked up to basically the bridge, or they have a little city park with some seating area, some artwork, and some signs uh, about the rivers and stuff. And if you look across the river, there's a building in the trees over there. That's the hotel we're staying at. And it's just cool. That seal with the bridge in the background. Just an awesome view. And yeah, just some of the history of the area. And you go down around the bend a little bit and you're in the Pacific Ocean. And what a name. You Are Worth It Hair Salon. That's just a really cool name for a business, for a hair salon. Yeah, we walked up one side down to down to basically the little park at the river and then down the other. And there's a bunch of little cool shops and stuff we looked at. But there was one I saw crossing the street and I said, we got to go in it. All about olives. I had to just go in and see what it was. And they've got bourbon balsamic, and then they had like raspberry balsamic and chocolate balsamic vinegars. They had barbecue sauce, salsas. So, of course, we bought some. What I'm going to make with my bourbon balsamic and my chocolate balsamic, I don't know yet. Anyone has any recipes? Give me any ideas? Stick them down in the comments. Would love to hear. When we got back to the hotel, we walked down the stairs and they have an indoor pool and a small little hot tub. And again, it was a nice, relaxing evening. And then we went back to our hotel room. And this was the sunset we got from this is from our balcony that night. So I'm going to wrap up today's video. So thank you for watching Hippie Bliss Travel. If you made it to the end, give us a like and a subscribe. And next week, we're going to start exploring Florence, and they have some fantastic sand dunes. Hope to see you then. Bye.